Hello again. This is LA Den. Tracy, Rob, Jailbird, Rax. Um, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Tracy, but I will. I'm going to say this. Rather she set him up or not. I, I mean, they give off the appearance of it. But you also got to remember, you know, Rob was the one that was live, and Rob was the one showing everybody pretty much where they was at. And going by the interview with the hotel employee, he had no choice but to call the police, and he was getting all the phone calls about them. So, but you know, um, Tracy's a 52-year-old woman. She don't need somebody that's, you know, 57 that wanting to think that oh, what if she was your sister? Well, what if she was your daughter? Well, number one, you know, my daughter was that old and made that kind of decision. That's still on her. Number one. Number two, it was my sister. I don't give a fuck what my sister does. She's a grown woman. And, you know, Tracy knew what Rob was like before she went there. And as much as I want to say about, men going and doing the save a hole, women think that they can go into a relationship to save a man. So, it works both ways. But anyway, um, and if they did set him up, that is a really bad thing for them. But my point is more on this man, Rob Rack. And as far as I'm concerned, he's where he needs to be at. And I'm going to say this: if I'd have known that he was a felon with that gun and pulling it out and threatening people, which I think is really ballsy, um, I would have been trying to get a hold of the police. But I wouldn't have waited until they were together and stuff. It would have been the first time that I ever talked to Rob. And that would have been a while that I've been talking to him on different panels, but mainly Buddy Lee's, and him coming up there and wanting to brandish the gun and threaten people with it, including me. You know, I don't like people taking and doing those kind of things, and I've made myself very clear about that. That you know, that makes the gun community look weak, and people that don't understand about that stuff wanting to take the Second Amendment away. But I still think people need to think about when you're taking our rights away, what about when they come after the First Amendment or the Fourth Amendment or the Fifth Amendment, where you can't uh, incriminate yourself and they take that away? You know, people need to think about, when you giving up rights or wanting to take rights away from other people. At some point, it will come back to affect you. So, but with that being said, and the other thing about the ghost gun, if that was a ghost gun, they would have charged him with it, especially it being in California. Just like I said on Buddy Lee's, you know, California don't play when it comes to gun charges. But then again, they do, because otherwise they would have a lot more people locked up, or felons locked up and charged with it. And I think a lot of the states are like that. They all want to take in and sit there and bitch about uh, uh, people not getting charged with felons in possession of firearms. And at the beginning, they get charged with it, but it gets dropped. And that's on the prosecutors and judges. So, but as far as Rob goes, I think where he's at is where he needs to be at, and let the court system deal with it. And especially being pro Second Amendment, even though I believe that everybody should have a gun, as long as you're law abiding. Rob was not law abiding. And a felony is a felony. And even into some of the misdemeanors, you cannot possess a gun. And he knew that. And I don't think he cared. And the people that are wanting to support him, even though that there's a lot of crackers and stuff that do the mass shootings and stuff, 90% of them should never have been in possession of a firearm. It was against the law, but they still had one. And here you are trying to support somebody with a felony and possessing a firearm. You all are overlooking that because you like him. I don't care if I like somebody or not. If they're not supposed to have a firearm and as a felon, I'm going to say something. I want to protect our Second Amendment rights. That's what I like doing. And I try to stay up on it as much as I can. So, and I know I might piss off a lot of people, but you got to look at it realistically and be fair about it. And I'm trying to be fair about it, But anyway, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and as always, leave a comment. This is LA Den signing out.